you can live a life in flow where your deepest heart's desires become reality. At Set to Love, we offer strategies and ideas on how you can stay out of crazy town. See, your human experience is meant to be lived with meaning, purpose, and creativity. You are here to contribute through your essence. We are best friends, moms, entrepreneurs, and above all, find our flow in assisting you to find yours. We come together weekday mornings to bring you ideas to fall deeper in love with your life and the journey that you are on. Take what works and ditch the rest, and always stay set to love. Thank you for being a part of this community. We're all designed to live in flow. So let's go.
Am I crazy for not allowing someone to come between me and my ex's relationship that was wonderfully functioning co-parenting? That is one of the questions we are going to be tackling today as we tie in how to build confidence in your relationships. I am so excited for today's show of Set to Love. I am one of your hosts, Eva Payne, and that way, my best friend, Shelly. Hi, friend. How are you this morning?
I am doing amazing. Always looking forward to this. So here we go, everybody. Yay.
Here we go. All right. So today we have this idea of talking about confidence in relationships and how to gain confidence in relationships. And as I was scrolling through Facebook, there's a local group. It's called SCV 30s and 40s. And which is our hometown. And so I'm like, okay, I'll be a part of this group. And this gal posted in there, we'll call her Mary. And so she posted this question. I'm going to read it. And then I want us to talk about it because we talk a lot about flow in careers and figuring out what you want to do with your life. We haven't really touched a lot on flow in relationships. So that's what I wanted to do today with her post. So I'm going to read it first, and then let's just have a conversation. Let's give her some advice. I asked her permission if we could talk about this post, and she said, absolutely. So let's do it. Okay, legit question for the single parents in here. My ex-husband and I have a great, mutually respecting co-parenting relationship. The last two post-marriage attempts, the guys did not like that I was, quote unquote, friends with my ex. He's not a bad person. We just didn't work. Am I crazy for not allowing someone to come between me and my ex's relationship that's a wonderfully functioning co-parenting relationship? How are you with your ex? We do not want to be with each other and have no intention of ever getting back together, but we don't hate each other. Our kids see us working together, and we do not speak ill of each other. Thoughts? I'm really curious here. All right, Shelly, what's the flow down, as my sister says? I'll call Kristen, and she's like, what's the flow down? I'm like, I love that. She's like, use it. So what is the flow down?
The flow down is from the person who's a little bit older in the group and who's been divorced for a long, long time. And I have grown girls. I have to say that I think it's amazing that she has a great relationship with her ex, because I have an amazing relationship with my ex and their partners. You know, I only have one ex, but just I get along with his, he gets along with mine. And now that my children are grown and they're adults, it really has proven to really have been a great thing that I've done and that we've done. The reason I say that is because we've shared holidays, and if there's a situation that's gone on, we've always been able to talk and co-parent, just being on the same team no matter what. And I know when your kids are younger and you really aren't evolved in a new divorce sometimes, that it's very difficult. And I would have to say you need to work through it, because your children are the ones that pay the price. And I always just put blinders on, and that's what worked for me. Is it going to be good for my kids? And how is that what's that gonna look like? And it doesn't mean if it was fair for me, or maybe it made me feel insecure that I couldn't take them on a trip that their dad could because I didn't have that kind of money. I mean, I never took my kids snowboarding. They snowboarded because of their dad. And they got to experience cruises and different things I took them camping. So either way, all I'm saying, and then on the other hand is it's a story from when Brooke was really little. I remember her calling me from a room saying, Daddy locked me in the room. I want to come home. And I'm like, Brooke, Daddy must have put you in that room for a reason. Now you better figure out what's going on. And well, please come and get me, Mom. I'm like, no, Brooke, it is Daddy's time and you are staying and you need to figure out what you did and work this out with Daddy. And I will see you tomorrow. What? And so I think for many, many years, then again, I would call Scott and say, why do you have her locked in the room? And he's like, I don't have her locked in the room. And of course he didn't. But I would say she's crying, and I would put my 2 cents in. And of course, on the other side, when they'd say, I'm calling Daddy and telling him, I'm like, here's the phone. He's going to be on my side. It doesn't matter. We are a team. So with that being said, that's the most important. How do your kids turn out when they have 2 parents that they know have the same interest in, if one was in trouble at my house, they were in trouble at their dad's. It didn't matter. And I am so proud of that and how stable that makes your kids. And that I don't want to be their dad. I want to be a great mom. I want to support their dad to being a really good dad. So that's my take on it.
I love it. That is why you are my best friend. I love it so much. I think your speaker is really loud. You just turn it down on your computer. Echoing.
How's that?
Okay, better. Okay. So what I would say to that would be, yes, I totally agree. I am definitely, I'll say, decently co-parenting as well. I wouldn't say that we're necessarily friends because we were best friends. And because of the divorce, it just had to be like separate for a while, just so healing could take place. And slowly but surely, it's like we totally get along. We text. It's always about the kids. It's always centered on the kids. We're not like diving into each other's personal lives. So to this gal, I would say, one, what are you talking about? Like, are you just talking about the kids? Is a relationship built on that? That's great. I would also say if people you're dating are insecure, how do you build confidence in your relationships? For me, it's really being open and honest. And it doesn't matter if it's my daughter, if it's my boyfriend, if it's my ex, if it's a boss, whoever it is in your life. When you can just be real about how you feel and really dive into what the other person is feeling and just be open and vulnerable with each other, you'll get past things. If these exes feel insecure, well, maybe they're not these guys you're dating after your relationship. If they feel insecure, maybe there's a reason. So ask questions. Just say, tell me more. I'd like to learn more about that. Why do you feel that way? And really be open to listening to why they feel the way that they feel. I also think that if they are someone who's just really possessive or they don't want you having that relationship, then that's not a good move for you at all either, because your relationship with your kid's dad is so important, like Shelly said. It's just the foundation for moving forward with them. And having that contention isn't good for them. So I'm really grateful that you do have a good relationship. A lot of people don't. So it's a beautiful thing. And just be really open and honest in the relationships that you are in now. And any that you potentially get into, you can just be straight up front, like, hey, my ex and I are really good friends. If that's not okay with you, then we're not going to work out. Don't even start going down the road with someone. You can say, we talk every single day. Whatever your thing is, if you're real, open, and honest from the start, that's how you're going to gain confidence in your relationships. And just always stay true to that. Stay true to who you are. Don't give that up. All right, there's my little rant about that question.
I think that you're right, though, because a lot of times when it's people's own insecurities, and there have been times where I've totally, I've been insecure or jealous of something. And I think that's the thing is you have to do a self-check. Why is it that you feel that way? And work on that, because I don't think it's somebody else's job to make you feel comfortable with someone else's. Now, if someone's rude or whatever, you can kind of distance yourself or choose not to be around that person. But I just find that you can never change other people. You can only go by how you're acting and how you want to be treated. And it's a process. It's not overnight. I mean, my kid's dad is like a brother to me. I mean, I care what happens to him. I want him to be happy in his relationship. But above all, we're parents to beautiful girls, and we get to share our grandchild, and there's just no animosity.
Let me ask you, how long did that take? So you and Scott do have a really good relationship, and Bob doesn't care one bit that you have a relationship with Scott, and you're friends with your current husband's ex-wife. You guys have a great relationship. Yeah. So how long did that take for you? Was that something that you were just like, nope, this is what has to happen? Or did you go through a period of, I don't like this man, I'm upset about everything that's going on, and it's slowly built up over time that your relationship has gotten better and better? Or was it just what you decided from the beginning?
That's a kind of a two-part question. Number one, it was a heart issue for me that I love my kids, and I didn't want to see bad things happen because of choices that their dad and I have made. And so at the very beginning, I cried a lot. I didn't like them to be gone, once a week and every other weekend. And, my kids would come home and the girlfriend put stuff on their hair, lemon on their hair to sit in the sun. I mean, there were just different things that happened over the years, or their hair got cut and I had no say. There were hard times in the sense, or they'd act a certain way and then I'd feel it was my responsibility. But going forward past all of that, I have to say my current husband, Bob, is just the most amazing man. He is confident in what him and I have. So yes. That's the same thing with his ex-wife. She's my friend because we share a common interest, and her kids matter to Bob. So they matter to me. And so I just feel like it's a wonderful thing. It's gotta be. And then the other thing is learning flow in my life, trying to have that attitude of having that flow, and how much nicer it is to go to a gathering where you actually can sit next to that person, whether it be my ex-husband's significant other or Bob's ex-wife. They're my friends, and it's not like you said, it's not something you call them. They don't know, my personal things really. There's a boundary, I don't call Scott just to, hey, what are you doing? It's just, it's about our kids or our granddaughter. And, he had some health issues. Of course, I wanted to check on him, things like that. But beyond that, it's just, I live my life with my wonderful husband, and all the things that we've shared in our lives from his past and current. That's what makes it so good.
It's so beautiful. It really is a flow in the relationships. And I love how you said his kids matter to him and they matter to his ex-wife. And so because of that, they matter to you. And for this gal, like if your kids really matter to the man that you are dating, he will want you to have a good co-parenting relationship, because that is what is in the best interest of the kids. And if there are insecurities around it, is it worth digging and working on with that person? I mean, I had insecurities in my relationship too. And you just get to decide, is this something I want to work through with this person? Is this the bag of rocks I want to carry around and figure out? Or is this too much? And I don't even need someone that even starts off this way. I mean, that's a decision that you get to make as you start dating people and bringing people into your life. But the fact that you put your kids first and that you have a good relationship with your kid's dad is beautiful. At the end of the day, I want to just say, isn't that what we all aspire to? To me, that is living in flow. To me, that is flow in that relationship, making the best of a bad situation, of something that, you never walk down the aisle thinking it's not going to always be this way. Nobody thinks that. And yet life happens, things happen. And sometimes we just go in different directions. And what can you do besides make the best for the people who are in your life? And when you have kids, you've got to put them first as much as possible in those situations.
My last thing about this too is when you are looking for a partner, for me, the fact that my current husband got along with his ex and was so flexible and still, loved the kids and wanted to be a part was very attractive to me. Because that's going to be my partner. That's going to be my person that even when it's not about your kids, that's going to be flexible and flow through life together. And so, really think about that. That's a good quality that someone has, that they're able to just put other things aside for the best interest of other people.
I love it, Shelly. You're amazing. I love having you in my life. Thank you, everyone, for listening and for being a part of our community. We really, really appreciate it. We are here every single morning, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, here to answer your questions around living in flow, whether it's your career, whether it's relationships. If you have a question and you're curious what Shelly and I think as it pertains to creating this life in flow, send us an email, set2lovepodcast@gmail.com. We love you all. We cannot wait to see you tomorrow morning. Have a great